What's up, everyone? Welcome to the March edition of tonefrance reacts. This is a series where I react to stuff that you, the fans, send in to me. I have no idea what's in this video. All of the submissions were sent to NitroShade. NitroShade sorted through everything and picked out some stuff to be featured in this March video. If your stuff isn't featured, don't worry. You can submit it either in the Discord, which is linked in the description, or you can also send it to the tonefrance reacts email, which will also be in the description, and it will also be listed at the end of this video. Now, let's get started. Up first, we're going to be reacting to some fan art. Let's go. Our first art is from Endo from Nights 5, and they sent a drawing of what looks like Evan in some sort of Freddy Fazbear outfit, or maybe Freddy Fazbear possessed Evan. I don't know. I don't know much about the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. I just know scary animatronics, but this is really cool, and I will definitely have to do a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 eventually. I'm just trying to find a good place for it. Alright, up next we have artwork from Coco Mocha, who sent a drawing of Mr. Michael sitting on a rock talking to his girlfriend, Rebecca, also Richard's mom. This is a very cute drawing, and it seems to be from when they were at Good Boy / Good Girl camp. She doesn't seem very interested, but he seems so in love with her. C1 Burst and a very happy drawing of Billy during, Billy Eats. That makes sense why he's so happy. It's very simple, but it also tells a very good story because Billy seems very happy after just eating something for Billy Eats. Alright, we have another very cute drawing by Element. This, of course, is Little Johnny, and he is looking as dumb as a pile of bricks, which makes sense because he is probably dumber than a pile of bricks, but very, very cute. I even love the little drawing on his shirt. It seems kind of concerned for Little Johnny, to be honest, but once again, I love when people send in unique art styles, and this is just another example of why it's so cool. Whoa, check these out. These are like anime drawings of both Evan and Trevor done by August. Trevor, of course, being the ladies' man that he is, has a Happy Valentine's Day card with a rose in his mouth. And Evan, of course, has a frown on his face, probably because he's not playing video games. But I love this art style. This is really, really cool. Oh, look at this. This was drawn by Dylan, and it says, Tone France. It's a card from my #1 fan, and it seems to have Little Johnny, Tone, Kevin, and then I think that's the mom, and then Richard. I love that all of these were hand-drawn and then cut out and put onto a card. It is so cute. Alright, now we have a drawing of Sally done by Buzzley. And once again, this is another very unique art style. I love to see it. Oh, and it says up in the corner, my favorite character. So Buzzley seems to really like Sally, which is good because Sally is going to be featured a lot in tomorrow's video, Nerf Wars. Alright, so it looks like we got through all the fan art. Now we are at the fan edit section. This part's pretty self-explanatory. This is where you guys send in edits for me to react to. Usually they're of my characters. So let's see what you guys sent. Sent by Mustard. Oh, it seems to be about Kevin. Okay. From Nerf Wars. Alright, we're getting hyped for Nerf Wars coming out tomorrow. Poor Kevin. That was a really good edit of Kevin from Nerf Wars 8. I can't wait for you guys to see what happens in tomorrow's video. Will Kevin make an appearance? We'll have to wait and see. You guys must really miss him. Alright, we have an edit done by Doomslayer God. Terrence? Okay. Oh, Terrence and Evan. Oh, alright. This is a sneaky Evan edit. I like it. Evan always has the coolest, weapons. Zion plays. Another Nerf Wars edit. Awesome. Oh, it sucks seeing the brothers split up. No, cries. Nice edit, Zion. Really nice. Alright, this edit is by Tone GTA Edits. And it's a Cornelius edit. Alright. I'm a better character. No, I am. Oh, yeah. When Cornelius is in a video, you know it's going to be a good one. Love it. Eli, the real one, sent another edit from Nerf Wars. No! The brothers getting split up. Oh! Oh, then when they were kids.
Billy, at least my brother doesn't hate me.
Oh, man, this is a good edit. You guys love the brothers. Wow. Oh, man. That one got me a little emotional, man. Good work. Caesar sent Leave Me Alone in Roblox. Okay.
Every day after 3.
Nice. Oh, this is so cool. You even got the like red guitar and everything.
Everybody standing now
Waiting for me. Whoa, all of them. That's so
No
awesome.
matter how many times I try.
Billy's dancing.
No matter how many times I say bye.
Wow, this is cool, guys. Good work,
Every
Caesar.
day after class.
You got the drums.
Everybody standing out on the grass.
I love the Ned one. That is hilarious.
No matter how many times I say go.
Evan.
No matter
that's
how
so cool.
many times I say no.
Wow, I can't believe how well you captured all these characters.
Somebody say,
Hey Richard, come over.
somebody say,
We want you to play.
somebody say,
You got to come over.
and then I always say, I just don't wanna play. Please, Richard, can you
Ah, this is so cool.
Don't wanna go outside unless somebody's died. Why can't you leave me alone?
This is awesome. Look at that, the piano.
I have an idea. Let's all just scream his name. Richard! Richard!
Every day
I love Billy. That's so
call my
cute.
name. I don't wanna play your stupid game.
Evan's crying. Ah,
I'm too old to play pretend.
sitting out, staring out the window.
I'm too cool to be your friend. And then I always say, I just don't wanna play.
I love this. This is awesome.
Can you pick up the phone? Don't wanna go outside unless somebody's died.
Ah, the piano.
And then I always say, I just
Fun
don't
fact,
wanna
I don't know how to
play.
play any instruments.
Richard, can you pick up the
Anytime there was like a close-up of my hands,
Don't wanna go
that was my friend
outside
Dylan playing.
unless somebody's died. Why can't you leave
Evan
me?
dying. Oh, he's going outside. All right.
Why can't you leave me alone?
He's happy. Ah, that was so cool. Really, really great stuff. Now we are on the Nerf Wars tier list. So this is kind of a special for this video since Nerf Wars 9 is coming out tomorrow. This is going to be a segment where I get to see your rankings of all of the previous Nerf Wars videos. That's Nerf Wars 1 to Nerf Wars 8. So let's see how you guys rank them. Angel has nothing below B tier. That's pretty high praise. In S tier we have Camp Combat, Castle Clash, and the original. A tier, Farm Frenzy, Medical Mayhem, and Restaurant Revenge. B tier, Forest Feud, and The Beach Battle. Honestly, I agree with pretty much everything on this list. However, when I watched the first Nerf Wars, I cringe a little bit just because I was so, new at making these types of videos. I did not know what I was doing at all. But it still is my best performing video on the channel as of right now. So I guess you guys like just the simplicity of it. Yeah, Forest Feud, I didn't really have a story going yet. I just was kind of like, we gotta make another one, so let's just go in the woods now. Honestly, if I were to change anything of this list, I would just put Medical Mayhem probably in B tier because I don't know why, I just didn't really like that one too much. I wanted it to be an epic one because it was like a battle royale, and it just did not go the way I wanted it to. But yeah, anyway, good tier list, Angel. Thank you for the high praise. Next up is Batman Robin 20, and this one is very different from the last one. S tier actually has Beach Battle, Forest Feud, and Medical Mayhem. 3 of the ones that were towards the bottom of the last list. Then in A tier is the original Nerf Wars, B tier, Farm Frenzy, C tier, Restaurant Revenge, and then D tier is Camp Combat, and F tier is Castle Clash. Whoa, that is very different from the last one. So you did not like my previous couple Nerf Wars videos, huh? But you seem to really like Medical Mayhem, which obviously is different from me. I can't argue with someone else's ranking. It's just so weird to see the contrast between last one and this one. Let's see what the next one's like. All right, this one we have Restaurant Revenge and Beach Battle in S tier. Then in A tier's Farm Frenzy, Forest Feud, and Castle Clash. B tier's The Original and Medical Mayhem, and C tier's Camp Combat. I was always under the impression that Camp Combat was probably everyone's favorite, but so far the past two, Camp Combat has not been a favorite. Castle Clash, I'm glad to see that's in A tier. That's good. Means I'm headed in the right direction at least. Medical Mayhem probably is where I would rank it though. Medical Mayhem towards the bottom. All right, now we have a tier list by Cosmic Rock, and we have Castle Clash and Camp Combat and The Original Nerf Wars in S tier. A tier's Beach Battle, B tier Farm Frenzy, Restaurant Revenge, and Medical Mayhem, and C tier's Forest Feud. This is more in line with how I would rank them, but for the most part, yeah, I can get on board with this list. I haven't watched Beach Battle in forever though, so I have to rewatch that and see if it's any good or not. I know that's where Danny appears. That one was just so hard to film with, you know, being on the beach, it being windy, people working on the roller coaster and laughing at me, and also there being construction noises and everything. But I got to admit, it was a pretty cool location to film at. Dylan Boy's tier list goes S tier, Farm Frenzy, Restaurant Revenge, Castle Clash. A tier, Medical Mayhem. B tier, Camp Combat. C tier is The Original Nerf Wars and Forest Feud, and then D tier is Beach Battle. So you have the original three at the bottom of the list. And like I said earlier, that's kind of when I was just starting to figure out how to do YouTube stuff. So I wasn't very good at making videos. I'm still not great at it, but I'm learning every time I film, like what I need to do with the microphone, how the lighting needs to look. I'm not perfect by any means, but I definitely was not perfect for those original three. I think around Farm Frenzy is where I sort of found my footing on how to actually film videos. All right, PHM's tier list goes like this. S tier, Farm Frenzy. A tier, Beach Battle, Restaurant Revenge, and The Original Nerf Wars. B tier, we have Medical Mayhem, Camp Combat, and Castle Clash. And then in C tier, we have Forest Feud. So, I'm starting to notice that Farm Frenzy seems to be at the top of most people's list. And that is very interesting to me. I guess you guys really liked little Johnny kind of turning evil. Farm Frenzy was such an easy one to film too. So now let's take a look at Kilpari Boys tier list. S tier, Castle Clash, Camp Combat. A tier, Restaurant Revenge, Medical Mayhem. B tier, Farm Frenzy. C tier, Beach Battle, and D tier is The Original and Forest Feud. Once again, those original three are towards the bottom of the list. Actually, the original four. It kind of, as I release them, you know, the newer ones are higher up on his list. So maybe that's proof that my videos are improving. All right, we have another one with very high praise for me. Thank you so much from Danny. That's an ironic name. S tier, we have The Original Nerf Wars and then Nerf Wars 2, Forest Feud. And then in A tier, we have a bunch. Camp Combat, Castle Clash, Medical Mayhem, and Restaurant Revenge. And then in B tier, we have Beach Battle and Farm Frenzy. It is honestly really nice to see such a mixture of opinions on these videos because, you know, there doesn't seem to be one that's like universally hated, at least after looking at all these. Like, for the most part, everyone's list is different. And in some lists, the original three are towards the top. Other lists, the original three are towards the bottom. And that's just crazy for me to see how everybody has a different favorite, it seems like, which is so cool. All right, now we have Zach's tier list. And in S tier, we have The Original Nerf Wars and Camp Combat. A tier, we have Castle Clash, Restaurant Revenge. B tier, we have Medical Mayhem, Forest Feud, Beach Battle, and Farm Frenzy in C tier. Completely different list than the last one. S tier, once again, does have The Original Nerf Wars. And it's good to know that Camp Combat and Castle Clash, two of my newer videos, are towards the top of your list. All right, so this tier list has Castle Clash, Camp Combat, and Restaurant Revenge at S tier. A tier's Farm Frenzy, Medical Mayhem. B tier's Forest Feud, C tier's Beach Battle, and D tier is Nerf Wars The Original. So this is another example of how different people's opinions are. In the last tier list, The Original Nerf Wars was an S tier. Now it's at the bottom, but no one's opinion is wrong for sure. You know what? I think I have to make my own tier list. Before we go to the last segment of the show, I want to make my own tier list because I want to give you guys my opinion on what I think of all the videos. I think we're going to do two tier lists. One of my general preference of which one is my favorite and which one's my least favorite. And then we're gonna do based on filming experience. And I'll try and give you guys some short stories of each. So first we'll start with which one's the best and which one's the worst, in my opinion. For the best, I'm gonna have to give it to Camp Combat in S tier. I think that one had a really good kind of reason for it to happen. The campers are all trying to escape from the camp, and the parents and the camp counselors don't want that to happen. Now in A tier, I think we're gonna go with Castle Clash. Oops. Castle Clash in A tier, yeah. Not only because it's the most recent one, but because I just think that setting was so cool. And once again, the reason for it to happen kind of made sense. Kevin and Evan didn't want their dad to marry Tone's mom, so they had a war. So yeah, I would say that one would probably be an A tier for me, and then let's choose one other one for A tier. The next one I'll do in A tier is Farm Frenzy. Once again, I think that one had a cool story. I don't really remember the motivation for them to have a Nerf war. I think it was just at that point, just they wanted to have some fun. I really can't remember. Now for B tier, this is where things get a little tricky, but I still think I'm going to give it to Restaurant Revenge. Only because it was cool to see all of Danny's family fighting all of the characters. It was cool to see little Johnny go psycho mode and just destroy everybody. In B tier, I'm also going to have to give it to the original Nerf Wars. And the reason for that being is that it's the original and I just kind of, have a place in my heart for it. But also, I just think it's like a fun little story, fun little thing before I knew what Nerf Wars was going to become. Alright, C tier, I'm going to give it to the Beach Battle. Again, I haven't watched Beach Battle or Forest Feud in a very long time, but I remember there being a big conflict between Evan and I think Tone. D tier, I'm going to give it to Medical Mayhem. Again, I think I said this earlier, it wasn't my favorite one. I kind of had to rush it coming out, I remember. I had to break little Johnny's arm also to make him kind of nerfed, no pun intended. Yeah, it's just kind of a battle royale that could have been a lot cooler and it just didn't live up to what I wanted it to be. And then in F tier, fittingly named, it's going to be Forest Feud. Forest Feud was just a sequel to be a sequel, honestly. It didn't really have much story going on. It was just them fighting again. So that is my ranking for the Nerf Wars videos. Now let's do it based in the order of the experiences. Alright, so now we're going to do based on experience really quickly. S tier is going to have to be Nerf Wars, the original. That was just in my grandma's backyard. I had my cousin there to help shoot me, and it was very simple. The weather was nice. Actually, it was raining a little bit during the day, but for the most part, after the rain stopped, it was very nice weather. For filming at least, because there was no sun, no wind. Nerf Wars, the original, is best filming experience by far. A tier for filming experience is going to have to go to Forest Feud. Once again, pretty simple, though I do think the sun was very bad with casting shadows that day. But I was just in my mom's backyard in the woods filming for like, 3 or 4 hours. Very easy location, very easy to film, no one to watch me. My mom came out and helped when I needed someone to shoot me. All good. And also, I'm going to give it to the Farm Frenzy in A tier because once again, very similar to that, we went to my grandpa's friend's farm. My grandpa stayed there the whole day. Anytime I needed his help with shooting me, he would come out, get a Nerf gun, and shoot me. Yeah, I don't really remember having any problems while filming the Farm Frenzy. B tier, I'm going to give it to Medical Mayhem. That one was also very easy, controlled environment, all inside at a doctor's office, and I actually had quite the crew there to help me. I had my dad, my stepsister, and my girlfriend at the time, now wife, all there to help me, and it went super quickly, actually. I think I remember telling my dad that I would need to film there probably for like 7 hours, and I wound up staying for 3, so yeah, maybe Medical Mayhem needs to go higher, but I'm going to leave it in B tier for now. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. What else could go in B tier, maybe? I'm going to give it to Castle Clash. Yeah, the castle was probably the coolest location I've ever filmed in. It was just my mom and I there, so I didn't have any distractions. The weather was nice. It wasn't too echoey. The only problem was, and this is a little Nerf Wars, 8 behind the scenes. There was a kitchen that was not painted at all to look like a castle. It looked like a very modern kitchen, and I was trying so hard to avoid filming that. So that was an issue, and then I also remember The mom's throne room, we pretended it was up at the top of a staircase because that's what I thought while looking at the Airbnb pictures, but it's not. It's actually on that main floor, the area where they had the final battle and Kevin's mom came in. It's just right off to the side, so I had to avoid filming that too. That was a little hard, but still, it was a fun filming experience. B tier. C tier is going to be Restaurant Revenge. I remember being on a very strict time constraint while filming this, and I had to be out of there by 5 o'clock, and I think I still had like 3 scenes to film by like 4 o'clock. So I was stressed, and I remember I had my grandma and my mom there to help me, and it was just, it was honestly a very rushed experience towards the end. I remember that was when I was filming the inside of like the refrigerator scenes and like in the back area in the kitchen. So yeah, that was tough, but again, in a controlled environment, I enjoyed that. Now, this is where things get hard because D tier and F tier could go either way for both of these, but I'm going to give D tier to Camp Combat. And the reason for that is because, number one, I was not expecting to hit, what was that, 700,000 subscribers that quickly. So I had all of my videos planned out for the Good Boy Camp saga. Nerf Wars was not supposed to be at the campground at all, but people really wanted to see Nerf Wars 7, and I figured if I waited any longer, people would kind of lose interest. So I was like, I guess I'm going to have to go back to the campground in the middle of summer and film. And oh my gosh, I had to film it over 2 days. I was going to try and film it all in one, but it was so hot outside that I literally was on the verge of fainting. Like, I was seeing stars. That's how close I was to fainting. And I was all by myself. I didn't have anyone come there with me. My water bottle was like hotter than it was outside. It was like drinking lava. It was disgusting. So I had to call it quits early on the first day. I remember specifically, it was the scene where I was dressed as Trevor's dad with the golden Nerf gun with Terrence and Richard. It was so difficult because it was so hot outside and all those characters' costumes are like multiple layers kind of. After filming that scene was when I was very close to passing out, so I had to call it quits right there. I called the camp director to come get me, and I went home. It was also difficult because, like I said, this was in the middle of summer. There were campers at the campground, so I had to avoid filming them, and they kept asking to be in the video, and I was like, guys, it's not going to make a bunch of sense if everybody looks like me, and then there's one little kid in this video, so sorry, you can't be in it. So that was difficult too. And then finally, F tier is Nerf Wars, the beach battle. And I think I've told this story multiple times before. I was filming, I think in like the beginning of May, and they were still doing construction on some rides on the boardwalk, and the construction workers were making fun of me the whole time, which I have thick skin. It didn't bother me too much, but they would interrupt my videos a lot. Like when I was filming, they would either start their construction to kind of annoy me, or they would like just shout mean things to me. I tried very hard not to lose my temper and like yell back at them, but it was tough, let me say that. And also, being on the beach, very windy, and the sound from the waves made it impossible to edit, but I made it work, I guess. So yeah, that's my ranking for the filming conditions of each video. Now, let's move on. Okay, now we are in the old videos portion. This is the part where NitroShade goes back to my early TikToks, 2020, 2021, and picks out some of the most embarrassing TikToks that I posted for me to react to. So, let's see what they picked.
Interior crocodile alligator. I drive a Chevrolet movie theater. Interior
I don't know what I was doing in some of these. I wanted to post every day. Sometimes I just had to get out some pretty bad TikToks.
Whoa.
Oh, this is an early video
This is awesome.
of 8-year-old
My dad
me.
could probably buy that.
This was back when Trevor was kind of the rich kid, and then I transitioned to
My
Evan.
dad could probably buy 2. Wow. My dad gave me
Look how long my
$50
hair
to
was.
spend on anything I want today. That's cool, I guess. Yeah, my dad's like super rich. He once told me that he makes like $100 a second.
That's obviously a lie because it's Trevor.
Yep. I think I'm gonna buy this. It's kind of dark out here, isn't it, Billy?
Yeah, it's getting pretty dark out. I wish I had a flashlight or something.
I have the perfect solution. Get ready.
This is based on real experiences.
What are you doing? Just hold on 1 second. Hold on. It's gonna work, I promise. See? What is
The
that?
dumb voices.
Oh, it's just an app on my iPod, that's all.
Wow, it's amazing what technology can do these days.
I'm getting pretty thirsty, too.
These are all apps that I really did use back in the day. These are rough.
I think my mom actually left us here alone.
Left alone in
Cheese
Chuck E.
about to
Cheese's.
close. Hello? Why aren't you listening? Chuck E. Cheese is talking to me.
You know what you must do.
Oh, that's
He
creepy.
wants me to do something very bad. You hear him too? He speaks Espanol to me. What? Don't even try to run away, because I have to do this. What is going on? Young man, I have been sitting in the car for 3
I forgot all
minutes.
about these.
You're done. Mom, thank goodness you're here. I have never been
Stuck in the
more
Chuck
happy
E.
to
Cheese
see
sky
you.
tubes.
Get in the car now. Okay. Goodbye, Chucky.
Goodbye, little boy.
What?
Love you.
So weird.
Hey, Billy.
Also based on real
can
experiences.
you spell I-cup for
Spelling
me?
I cup.
I-C-U-P. You see me pee?
Ugh.
Ew, Billy.
These are rough to
That's
watch.
disgusting. Ow! Billy, why did you
I probably
do
really
that?
punched myself
I
too.
only watched you pee one time, and I didn't know that
I
you
completely
saw me.
forgot about that last part. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have anything that you want to submit for the next Tone France Reacts, you can send it to the Reacts forum in the Discord, which is linked in the description, or you can also email it to tonefrancereacts@gmail.com. Thank you guys for watching, and if you're watching this on Thursday night, get ready for Nerf Wars 9. And if you're watching this after Thursday night, or Friday morning, I guess, I hope you enjoyed Nerf Wars 9. I'll see you guys in the next Tone France Reacts.